This video is sponsored by Keeps. So we got the 1050 spoilers, and this is it. This is pretty much the end of the fight. I mean, it's over. Kaido has lost. There's no getting back up. The raid isn't failing. It's done. But we're getting a lot more information in these spoilers too, so let's just get into it. So the title of the chapter is Glory. In the cover, Reiju and Ichiji arrived to help Niji and Yonji. On 1049's cover page, we saw that this fire broke out and it was freeing Niji and Yonji from the book that they were trapped in. But yeah, Reiju and Ichiji are there to save them, and I guess they'll show up again at Laugh Tale to reunite with Sanji begrudgingly. Kaido falls in the magma, deep under Wano Island. Big Mom is there too. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. Kaido is done. But let's just backtrack a little and look at how we got to this point. So in the previous chapter, we saw Luffy and Kaido having their big final clash. You know, what we typically see in the finales of these huge One Piece arcs. And that led us to seeing the rest of Kaido's flashback, which was like a dead giveaway that he was going to lose for sure. But then when we come back to the present, Kaido's like, Straw Hat, what kind of world do you wish to make? And Luffy was like, a world where my friends eat as much as they like. That's my kind of world. And he just levels Kaido with the badgering gun. And that was like the coup de grace that sent Kaido into the ground like a bullet. And that also capped off Kaido's flashback where we saw him talking to King, saying that Joy Boy is the man who will defeat him. And yeah, that came to fruition because we know by now Luffy is for sure the new Joy Boy. But as this was happening, we did see Kaido get plunged like into the earth. But we just didn't know how far he was going down. But apparently he's going so far down to the magma. And this magma, I'm assuming, is the magma coming from Mount Fuji on Wano. Unless Luffy like knocked him to the core, but this ain't One Punch Man, so I don't think that happened. But first, let's talk about the sponsor of this video, Keeps. So guys, I'm losing my hair. I know, stupid me, I should have picked better genetics before I was born. And I'm assuming that everybody watching this video doesn't have perfect hair genetics, since 2 out of 3 guys will experience hair loss by the time they're 35. But all hope is not lost, because that's where Keeps comes in. With Keeps, you get quality, expert care without ever visiting a doctor's office or pharmacy. Whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or just take better care of the hair that you have, Keeps has you covered. Easily subscribe to Keeps and get refill reminders so you'll never run low on the products you need to take care of your hair. Guys, hair loss stops with Keeps. And to get 50% off your first order, go to keeps.com/Zhoniin or just click the link in the description. That's KEEPS.com/Zhoniin. Thanks, guys. But it turns out that he got knocked to the same area right around where Big Mom is, because she had a extremely similar ending to Kaido. Because back in chapter 1040, we saw a kid shooting her with his damn punk, which is like his Devil Fruit Awakening railgun thing. But also, while Law had her in like her own spherical room, encased in like his proprietary silence move, paying homage to Corazon, of course. And they shot her like through Onigashima, and as she was going through it, she went through the stronghold, and that caused like the bombs and stuff in there to fall with her, and she eventually fell into the ground very close to the flower capital along with those bombs, and they exploded. And the narrator said that Kid and Law won, and that was pretty much the last time that we saw her. And if you look at the location of where Onigashima is along with the flower capital and where Kaido and Big Mom fell, they're, you know, relatively similar. So the geography here pretty much makes sense. Also guys, if you like my One Piece content, please subscribe. A lot of you consistently watch my videos, but you don't subscribe. Maybe you just need to be reminded. Here you go. But also, Big Mom's last words as this was happening was, "You better not think this is enough to kill me." And I believe her. I don't think that she's going to die. Although, I guess right now it is possible because they're like, you know, encased in freaking magma at this point. If they both can survive being plunged into lava here, that would be ultra impressive. But as for Mount Fuji itself, I do think that this is going to come back into play in like the next couple chapters. Big Mom and Kaido might actually do something that causes it to just straight up erupt, possibly, because at least in my opinion, it's implied that Sea Stone comes from Mount Fuji or is connected to it in some way. Because in chapter 924, Hawking says that Sea Stone throughout the world was born in Wano. And in chapter 240, Pagaya says there's an ingredient in Sea Stone called pyrobloin, and particles of keratin are hurled into the sky by volcanoes, and they absorb moisture depending on their density, and they either become sea clouds or island clouds. So I think that's coming full circle here later, and it's eventually going to reveal the significance of Mount Fuji and maybe just Wano as a whole, aside from the other little artifacts there, which might be a golden bell, or as we all kind of suspect, the last road poneglyph. Toko and Yasui flashback. Yasui ate the smile that Toko has eaten because he doesn't want Toko to laugh alone. So that's wholesomely tragic, but also interesting, because in the Viver card that Yasui is a part of, it implied that Yasui didn't eat a smile, and that he was kind of just acting all goofy like that because he didn't want them to laugh alone. So yet again, another reason to not treat these Viver cards like they're some kind of gospel law. I see a lot of people grandstand and gatekeep other people's like theories or whatever because of the Viver card says this, so no. But it's like, yeah, the Viver card does give us some information, but it's not always like 100% accurate. Nekomamushi announces Luffy's victory to all of Onigashima. So that's going to be a pretty awesome moment. I can't wait to see how this plays out. Just everybody cheering, they're like, yes, it's over. I can't believe we actually won. Momonosuke says to Zunisha that he will open the border, but not now. Okay, so that makes sense. It's not like the world government is going to be cool with that. In chapter 1028, the CP0 agent that seemingly was killed by Kaido got a call from Lucci, and he said, we have orders from above. On the freak chance that Kaido actually loses, which he kind of just did, the nation of Wano, unaffiliated with the world government, will be placed under the government's direct control. The ships are heading to Wano already, so does it seem possible to you? And then of course the guy was like, no, Kaido can't lose. That doesn't make sense. And then Luffy was like, you're right. But also there's one more order. Bring back Nico Robin. So keep that in mind because that's probably going to be an element going forward in the next couple chapters possibly. Momonosuke lands in the flower capital and turns back to human form. Can't see it because of the smoke. From the smoke, Hiyori and the red scabbards appear. All right, so this is going to be a pretty great sequence once we eventually get to it. This huge reunion, which will lead to, a very cathartic, wholesome moment. I'm assuming that Momonosuke is gonna look just like Odin, right? Because let us not forget, he was aged up to be an adult by Shinobu's Devil Fruit a couple chapters back. So he's, like a grown man now. Denjiro says, I have brought here the new Shogun of Wano. So yeah, this goes back to what we've been talking about for a while now. This was gonna be Momonosuke's big coming out party, him finally being acknowledged as the next Shogun of Wano. As we saw in the previous chapter, he was able to successfully land Onigashima using his own flame clouds. And now that he's like a full-blown adult, the time is right. But yeah, that's all the spoilers for now, and there's going to be way more that happens in this chapter, I'm sure. We're only getting a little taste here. If we get more tomorrow, I'll make another video. But let me know what you think about these in the comments, and if you like it, guys, please give it a like and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.